Live on YouTube. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Pokemon Science. I have a big bandage on my nose right now. Pay no attention to that. It's completely. It doesn't exist. I definitely did not um, injure myself in any way. All right, so what we're gonna be doing, this is gonna be fun, is we're going to try to figure out exactly how Mew EX really works. There are so many weird interactions with Mew EX, and I want to know how every single one of them works. I want complete Mew EX knowledge. Um, actually, just grab this to the side real quick and pull this here so I can actually see the Twitch chat. There we go. All right, so I've got Toshi with me here today. You can't hear them; they're just kind of in the background doing science. They didn't want their voice on stream for today, which is totally cool. Toshi's been really big help in just kind of coming up with crazy ideas for this particular stream. We've been coming up with a bunch of ideas on what we could test with Mew. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by just looking and see if we missed anything. See if there are any weird card interactions with Mew we might be able to get a hold of. All right, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. Okay, so Bulbasaur line, I'm not really seeing anything there. Healing, it just refers to this Pokemon. Caterpie, I think it's pretty obvious. It'll look for a leaf Pokemon. There's nothing there. We're just going through like the first. And Toshi, stop me if you see something that I'm missing, something that has like a weird ability. Let's see, hold on, Vileplume here. Yeah, Pokemon's now asleep. That's not really that fancy. We can kind of keep going there. Yeah, it's just the question of whether or not there's an attack, and the attack would not make sense if it were copied. It's kind of what we're looking for. I'm going to just refresh the page. It seems as though my Chrome has crashed. That's not good. Okay, there we go. We fixed it. All right, so the first one I'm seeing is Charmander, right? It discards a fire energy. What if you don't have one? That's something we can test. Maybe we could test it with Charizard, because that looks pretty cool. I think that's already on the list, though. Vulpix is weird. The defending Pokemon can't attack. Yeah, no, that's pretty. It's pretty clear what happens there, I think. Nothing too fancy there. Self-damage, discard fire energy. We're definitely going to have to do one where there's a discard of fire energy. Discard energy, discard energy. There are a lot of these with the discard energy. But I don't think there's anything. Okay, so here we go. Blastoise, right? Let's take a closer look at this Blastoise here. Just try to. I zoom in, you guys can't see it. Maybe I click like that. And then no, that's gonna work. Okay, no zooming. No zooming. So the way Blastoise works, it seems like extra 2 water energy attached. I think we already have that on the list. What counts as extra energy in that particular case? So we've kind of got that. We've got that already. All right, all right. Yeah, no, so far I think we have a pretty good list. Maybe I should just put our list on the screen, like just all the stuff we want to test, because I think it's pretty solid. KO Crab. Yeah, I figure it would just work like KO Crab, Poison. Yeah, there's nothing particularly Poke specific, I think, in most of these. And most of them refer to this Pokemon, so it would just work for Mew. So that would be fine. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. Yeah, no, it's kind of clear how that works. I don't see anything weird. It really seems like all of the attacks that Mew could imitate, we've kind of considered. We've taken into account. And we're just going through GA. These are kind of the old ones where we're not quite at the newer Pokemon yet, but corner knockback, then a shock. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, Fearow, maybe. What about Fearow? If heads discard a random energy. Yeah, no, that'll just do Fearow things. That's fine. Uh-oh. It's gonna make me scroll down again. Yeah, no, I think we've got it. I let me move my microphone here so it's a little more clear. I don't know. Hold on. Yeah. That everybody can hear what I'm saying a little bit better. Let me know if that improves the audio quality a tiny bit. Okay. Okay, so yeah, no, I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good. I think we've covered almost the entirety of GA, and I don't think there's anything weird. I mean, Kabutops, it heals. Heal the amount of damage you did to the active Pokemon. It'll just heal it. Yeah, no, that's not unusual. Alright, I think in the entirety of GA, I don't think there's anything that we haven't taken into account. Something that we haven't considered. We've got Ditto on the list. We're gonna try Ditto. Aerodactyl would just do Aerodactyl things. We've got bench stuff. And that's it. That's it for the Pokemon. Are there any trainer cards that could have weird interactions? Blaine. So we talked about this with Cynthia, but I'm curious if you use Blaine and you copy, like, Ninetales attack, does it work? We could try that. We're already going to try it with Cynthia. Maybe we'll try Blaine as well. See if they're coded differently for some reason. Okay, so that's G... Oh, go ahead. Alright, so that's the entirety of GA. I don't think we missed anything in GA. I think our list has covered everything in GA. Delmise, Toshi's already brought up. That's an option. Delmise has some weird energy interactions we're going to test. Rapidash stuff, Magmar stuff, it's just discarding energy. That's pretty common, discarding energy. If they're poison, poison. Rapid Whirlpool will still do the same thing. Leap Out will still do the same thing. Cramorant's a funny one. Prevent all effects of damage done to this Pokemon, but I think it'll just work normally. No! Oh, it better not do that every time I click on a card. Yeah, Mew v Mew. I think that's on the list. Mew v Mew, Mew v Ditto. Or do you mean Mew v Old School Mew? Yeah, yeah, we'll test that. We'll test Mew v Ditto. I actually know what happens. I tried that one already. But we need to do it on stream or it doesn't count. Let's see. Draw a card. Put to sleep. Flip a coin. Done to this Pokemon. Yeah, all of the moves say this Pokemon, so... Revenge is already on the list. Coughing, pull. I think we're testing Weedle already. Like, what if you try to pull a copy of a specific Pokemon? We've got that, we've got that. We're testing bench stuff already. Yeah, I think that's it for Mythical Island. Still nothing we missed. All right, so we're just gonna go through the remaining, I think, 3 sets, and then we'll get right into the testing. That makes sense, that makes sense. We did that one, we did that one, we did that one. Torterra, I think, Toshi, you put Torterra on the list. I'm actually not sure what it does. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Friendly Plant. Oh! Yeah, because it's technically not Frenzy Plant, right? That's clever. Yeah, it specifically says Frenzy Plant. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to test the heck out of that one. Do you have a Torterra? Okay, good, because I don't have a Torterra. I'm actually missing that one. Yeah, no, that's a good call. Yeah, we gotta test that for sure. Active Pokemon is confused. Leaf. Put one random basic Pokemon. Flip a coin, more damage. Leaf Cyclone. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. I feel like Leafeon will just make Mew unable to attack, but I'm not sure, right? We could test Leafeon. I feel like it's a lighter Torterra. Do you think we should add Leafeon to the list? All right, let me just jot that down on the list real quick. All right, so basically we've got a big list of different things we want to test. And we're gonna try and use interaction with all the different Pokemon. But we're just going through the list one more time to see if we missed anything. So Leafeon, we'll try that. What's this one do? Discard random energy. Yeah, no, we know how that works. No! Oh, God. All right, wait. Hold on. I think I can do. I think I can just pick which set we're doing, and just do one expansion at a time. Yeah. We're looking at Space Time Smackdown right now. Let's just. Yeah, that makes this easier. Okay. All right. So Magmar's pretty straightforward. Macargo's pretty straightforward. Infernape, discard all fire energy. We're testing that already with Charizard. Heat Rotom. Flip a coin if heads does more damage. Pretty straightforward. Piplup is funny, but we know what that does. Muddy Water, yeah. That's pretty straightforward. I think most of these abilities, they're pretty clear what they do. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a fighting type, this attack does 30 more damage. I'm actually not sure if Snover's ability is possible to trigger with Mew because you're using it on a Snover. Okay. Yeah, with Ditto it's possible. Magnezone Magnezone could be cool, actually. That's basically the same thing as Charizard, but I'd also like to test Magnezone, just because it's more commonly used, right? You're really likely to see that. Oh, yeah. All right, I'll add Magnezone and Palkia to the discard lists. And maybe we could do one of each. Even if we think we know how it works, just the animation to see would be pretty cool, depending on what happens. That's a good question. Oh, Pachirisu! Does Mew EX have to have the gadget, or does Pachirisu have to have the gadget? Oh, yeah, no, that we have to add to the list for sure. Pachirisu. Who has the gadget? Okay. Let's see. Electivire. This Pokemon has at least 2 extra energies. Yeah, no, that's pretty clear how that works. Alright, no, it's not actually, but we're testing that with other things. Assault Laser. I think Assault Laser is just Pachirisu in reverse. So we'll do Pachirisu and STS Rotom for Gadget Tech. Togekiss is already on the list. What's Drifloon do? I'll open this in another tab so it stops. Minus 20 damage from attacks. I think it's clear how that works. Let's see. Rampardos, I think it's pretty clear how that one works. Honchkrow, Weevil, yeah. Spiritomb. Krogunk, we're already testing bench stuff. Skarmory is the same thing as Pachirisu. So, Pachirisu slash Skarmory. Who has the gadget? Wormadam, Bronzong, Probo. I think all these are pretty clear. Well, we already have Cynthia on the list. Porygon will just be Porygon. Starly. Discards the Poketool, right? Wait, though. Before doing damage, discard all Poketools. Yeah, no, I think it's clear how that works. I think it's clear how that works. We're just looking for weird Mew interactions, and then we're gonna test all of them. Okay, let me just see. Super fast. I mean, yeah, that's pretty clear. Clutch. Defending Pokemon can't. Yeah, no, that's fine. Regigigas is kind of funny. Is it going to use... Because Cape does impact the damage, I think that it will work correctly. But I don't know. Do you think it's worth testing Regigigas? Yeah, I think it would just use Mew's HP. It should, right? I'll add it to the list as like the last thing we test, because I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but it'd be cool to see, like if it actually uses Regigigas' health for some weird reason. Well, I feel like so many people have done Celebi Mew that that behavior is kind of pretty well known. All right, we've got everything in Space-Time Smackdown. I think we only have one or two more sets to take a look at. The next one we're gonna do is Triumphant Light. Okay. Reckless Charge. Yeah, Carnivine. Who has the Arceus? Right? Carnivine Link. Who has the Arceus, and does it even work? Because it's an ability, not part of the attack. So, that's really weird, right? Does it change the attack? No, that we have to test. That's a good one. Houndoom, Heatran. Heatran, who has the damage? All right, Thrash. Go ahead. Gotcha. Okay, all right. We're doing pretty good. We're almost through. We're almost through all the cards, and then we'll get to testing. Okay, I know how that works. I know how that works. Vigor Link. Hold on, Abomasnow has a link? I didn't even know that. What is it? If you have Arceus in play, attacks used by this Pokemon cost one less energy. That's trippy. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Would Mew trying to copy a linked Abomasnow be able to use genetic hacking with 2 energy? I feel like the answer is no. Yeah, Ditto Abomasnow we have to test. Absolutely. I'll add that to the list for Ditto stuff. Oh wait, hold on a second. We were supposed to check something with Ditto before, but I forgot what it was. Ditto Abomasnow. Alright, I think we'll stick for Mew for this stream, and then we can maybe do Ditto another stream, or do you think we should do Ditto too? Yeah, because they're a little bit different. That's the thing. Mew can do things that Ditto can't. Alright, so we'll test Abomasnow and Ditto, because that's an interesting combination. Alright, Raichu has Link. Takes minus 30 damage. Okay, that's just an ability. That doesn't affect the attack. Flash. Attack doesn't happen. Yeah, no, that's pretty clear. What is this? Flip a coin. Reveals a random card from their hand and shuffles it into their deck? Really? That's how Ghastly works? I didn't know that! Oh, wow, that's actually really cool. Sudowoodo. I think it's clear how Sudowoodo works. Tyranitar, Power Link, does it affect the attack? So Carnivine slash Tyranitar. Okay. We're gonna test the Garchomp stuff. Croagunk is just crazy poison tech. That deserves its own testing scenario, but I think we're good right now. Magnezone is a link too? Oh man, all these link stuff are throwing me. Minus 30 damage. Okay, just an ability doesn't affect the attack. Space time, discarder, puts to sleep. I think that's it. Alright, now just Triumphant Light and we should be good to go. And then we can get to testing. Sorry, Shining Revelry, Shining Revelry. Yeah, we'll just check Shining Revelry. Hey, Sarah. How are you doing? We're doing some science, some Pokemon science. We're trying to see how Mew EX works with various cards. Like, for example, Weedle pulls a Weedle, but would Mew pull a Mew instead of a Weedle? We're just going to be testing things like that. So Weedle's already on the list. I'm pretty sure it'll pull a Weedle, but it's still worth testing. We know how all these work. We know how all these work. Yeah, we're just trying to see if there are any weird, very specific abilities or attacks that might change when it's copied. Oh my goodness, Giratina. Flip a coin if heads, prevent all damage. Yeah. Well, we know how that one works. Okay. We're almost through all of the cards. I don't think we've missed anything. I guess we should probably check the promo cards too. I don't remember if we checked the promo stuff. Hammer, right? Yeah, no, it's not like the VGC, so that's fine. Pokezone's being a little laggy. I don't. There we go. Doesn't want us to finish. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah. I don't see any other cards. I think we're good. Let's just check the promo stuff real quick. Promo A. Is that the only promo? Oh wow, there are a lot of promos. Alright, Cresselia is an ability. Most of these are copies of other cards, so we've already looked at them. There are a few weird ones, though. Like, Power Press. It's another 2 extra energy card. We've got that. We've got that on the list already. We've got Link stuff on the list. We've got healing stuff on the list. We've got build-up cards on the list. I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. Okay, so we've gone through every single card in the game right now, and I think we've established a good list of what we want to do. So we want to test Mew into Ditto and Ditto into Mew. We want to test Mew into like Delmise and Lapras, energy accumulator cards, benched checker cards, discard energy cards. We want to check it against Marshadow. Like, what happens if my Pokemon dies and I copy Revenge? Does it do double damage? Or if your Pokemon just went down, does my Revenge now do double damage? Is that even possible? I'm not even sure if that one's possible. So we're going to check all of this, starting with Mew into Ditto and Ditto into Mew. We're going to try to copy each other. So I'm going to run a deck that just has Mew and Ditto, and Toshi's going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to try to use the copy moves, and we'll see what happens. See if we can create an infinite loop. All right, let me put my phone on the screen there. Well, that's not the right button. Here's the right button. Okay. What deck do I not care about anymore? I know I like that deck. This is Double Decker. Oh, that's one of my favorite pun decks. I can't get rid of that. Leaf Baby Eggs? Yeah, I can get rid of this one. All right, so we're gonna add MuEX, obviously, and grab 2 copies of that. Use the golden one and the regular one. And then we're gonna add a Ditto, and I think I only have one Ditto. So, perfect. Then, I think just draw cards, like Iono, lots of stuff to help us draw as much stuff as possible. So, Pokeball, Pokecom, probably like a Chatot with Mimic, and then like a bunch of fossil cards. And the idea is we'll just like shuffle our deck until we get what we want, and then we can test with it. Professor's Research. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I'll just put 3 different kinds of energy, because why not? And we'll get to testing. Echo. All right. Actually, in honor of Toshi, who is helping me in the background, we'll make the password Toshi. Let me know when you're ready. All lowercase, yeah. All right. Let's do it to it. All right, I got my phone in front of me. All right, I immediately got a Mew. That's pretty good. What'd you get? Ditto, perfect. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to be the deck that causes the incident. So I'll let me know what happens when you try to copy me, but my deck needs to try to copy you before we're finished, just so we have it on video. No, wait. Don't put them both on the bench. We're bricked. Uh, how do I remove them? Uh, we can't get rid of them. All right. I guess eventually, maybe. Okay, wait. Hold on. All right. We're in a bit of a tough spot here. How do I KO something? I'm gonna have to get a psychic energy soon, hopefully. Oh yeah, you can copy my Psyshot. That's funny. All right. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. All right, I got a Ditto, so that's good at least. But we still need Mew to be on the field. Copy. Switch to Chatot, like retreat into Chatot. That way it'll only take me 3 hits to KO it. All right. I'm not getting psychic energy. You know what? Let's just restart because this is gonna take No, it's fine. It's fine. This is testing. Stuff is gonna blow up. That's part of testing. We're doing science. I should have something on the screen. This is like what we're doing, but I don't know how to do that. So I guess it's in the title. Pokemon card science. That's pretty much what's going on. Yeah, we're just testing all of the different weird interactions with Mew EX to try to figure out what exactly will happen if Mew does certain things. And all this will be summarized in a YouTube video later, but I figure we'll do it live on stream because it's fun. Is what working? Oh wait, you're right, it's not showing the game. That's so weird. Wait. Wait, what? Has it not been showing the game this whole time? How is that even possible? It's not showing the battle. Wait. It froze. It froze and I never noticed. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Let me try to fix that. That's so weird. Okay, there we go. Got it fixed. Ooh. Thanks for letting me know. That was... Okay. So I've got Ditto and Mew onto the field. Now you need to get Ditto and Mew onto the field. And then we get... Perfect. Alright, we're ready to go. Let's do some testing. Alright, so at this point, just, I guess, take quick turns. And we'll try to get energy on everybody as quick as possible. Yeah. Well, the flashy part is when the buttons get pushed. Is when we find out what stuff does. That'll be the flashy part. For stuff that's very visual, like the Palkia stuff, we can each run a Mew and an energy discarder. And I think that'll save time too. So like I can run maybe Charizard and you can run Palkia, or I can run Palkia, you can run Charizard, something like that. And then we'll also run Mew. And then we can get 2 set up at once. Still no psychic energy. We're not getting any psychic energy. Alright, hold on. I've got to get psychic energy. Or I can't test this properly. What? But, alright, I'm getting crazy unlucky with the energy stuff. Hold on. I'm gonna do Mew in the meantime. Okay, so. It is impossible for me to use genetic hacking on Ditto. That's not working. So retreat into a Mew and see if that works. Yeah, fair. Oh my goodness, I'm not getting any psychic energy. Okay, so I can use genetic hacking. but I can't genetic hack your genetic hacking. I can only genetic hack Psyshock. Alright, so keep Mew in front, and then we'll try with Ditto. But I kind of want a Psychic Energy. Why aren't I getting any? Okay, next turn. Next turn. Next turn for sure. I did it for science. I wanted to see if something weird would happen. Because you never know, right? You never know what it's gonna do. This is how discoveries are made. Okay. So I can use copy anything, but I can't copy Ditto. It just kind of bounces back when I try, which is kind of funny. I can copy Mew, but I can't use genetic hacking. I can only use Psyshot. Alright, so a copy moves can't copy other copy moves, no matter what. That was a good test. Alright, next on our list to test, Mew EX to Dhelmise and Lapras. How much extra energy does it need? Actually, I'm running the right energy for that. Do you have the energy accumulator Lapras? Alright, so then you run Dhelmise Lapras, and I'll run... I guess Mewtwo... Do we need to test Ditto for this? Yeah, I feel like Ditto's just kind of pretty obvious. Yeah. I'll get rid of all of my Pokemon except the Mews. That's possible. Toshi thinks it's going to take 6 energy. And I do have to use a variety of energy because the type could actually matter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Toshi's betting that it'll take 6 energy to make this happen. Personally, I have no idea. I actually have no idea how this is going to work. It's so weird. Is what going to work? Oh, no, it won't work because it doesn't work on non-grass types. Yeah, Toshi was wondering if we could use Leafeon to speed it up. The problem is, Leafeon can only work in the active slot and it can only gift energy to grass types. We could theoretically try something with Leafeon plus Dawn, but ending turn and adding energy will just be faster. I think Superior might be the same. I'm not sure, actually, if Superior only works on grass types. I think it does. Hmm. Yeah, it's probably best to do it like this because I want to test 4 and 5 and 6, not 2 and 4 and 6. Oh, let me know when you're ready. I'm queuing. Not betting on 4. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know how this is gonna work. Let me know when you're ready to queue up. Yeah, and for anyone who's watching who's wondering about this, so the way it works is that Dhelmise and Lapras will do more damage, theoretically. Dhelmise and Lapras will theoretically do increased damage based on adding additional energy. But with Mew, what counts as additional energy? Is it additional energy compared to Mew's attack? Additional energy compared to Dhelmise's attack? What counts? We don't know. Uh, are you having any trouble with the deck building? Okay, doke. Yeah. All right. Give this a little try. Doing some science. Oh, I need like a featuring Toshi thing in the title. There we go. It's on Twitch at least. All right, we're putting Mew forward. All right, so Delmise's description, right? This is what it says. If a Pokemon has at least 3 extra leaf energy attached, what counts as 3 extra? Right? What what counts? Perfect. Well, I've got the stuff. It's just yeah, the energy. The random nature of this will actually make it. Oh, I forgot to remove psychic. That's actually not helpful for this test. It could be because it's an energy that is neither. Okay. So now if I use genetic hacking, it'll do 20 damage. No, I should because it's interesting. It's a non-energy. I don't know. That's what we got to test. We got to find out. So it's still 20. Now I have 3 extra energy beyond your 1 energy, but I don't currently have 6 energy, and they're not leaf. Oh no, wait. Can we stay with Delmise? Cause all right, we'll do Lapras first. We'll do Lapras first. I just wanted to do it in order, just for my sanity. Okay, so I've got 3 water energy, and this does 3 extra. Sorry, extra damage when 3 extra water energy attached. Strictly speaking, yeah, no, it's only doing 20. But if I add one more, yeah, yeah, we'll try it. We'll try it. When I add the 4th water energy, does that do it? Or do we need you to add the 4th water energy? Okay. It's working. So it doesn't matter what other energy I have. Or does it? No. Right. Technically, there could be 2 things, right? There could be 3 energy plus the 3, or it could be 4 water. So we needed to try without 4 water. All right, so switch into Delmise. We'll make this the Delmise test, and then I'll use a different Mew for the because I got another one in my hand. We'll use a different Mew for the Lapras test. Okay. So without adding the additional energy, it will do 20 damage. So having 6 energy is insufficient. Now I'm adding a second leaf energy. In theory, I have enough energy to use the attack, plus 2 extra leaf energy. It still does 20. And I'll be able to add another leaf energy next turn. Alright, so we're at 1, 2, and 4. This is the third leaf energy. There are now 3 leaf energy. It's doing 90. Okay, so the only way this makes sense is it's treating enough energy for Mew's attack plus 3 leaf energy. That's how this works. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like just 3 leaf energy? Okay, okay. Hold on. Let me write down the results because we're gonna forget. So Mew um 1 psychic, 4 water, and 2 leaf doesn't trigger. Mew with same but 3 leaf does trigger, assuming 3 leaf plus attacks. Energy cost question mark. Okay. Now we'll try another Mew. Um Maybe we should do this one at a time. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. If that had worked. If that had worked. I mean, I could retreat them away. Something we could do. Oh yeah, I should have added Explorer. That's a good point. That's smart. I should have added Explorer. That would have been clever. It was for science. Well, it's important to test with multiple energies because there are a few things we're not completely sure about. All right. I'm gonna get rid of a water from that Mew. I don't think I have enough turns left to endlessly retreat cycle. But I want to try the Lapras with 3 extra water energy. Nice. All right, we'll try Lapras. Because now I'm 3 and 3. And we'll see what that does. You do enjoy resetting my hand. What? Just switch to Lapras. We've got 3 water energy. This is the test. That's fine. I want to see what happens. Okay, it is working. So... three grass and 3 water do trigger. And then I'll get rid of 1 grass and see if it still works. Keep Lapras online. We can do another game if we need to, but I want to see if all right, we'll have to retest anyway, so go ahead if you want to. Oh, okay, cool. Gonna retreat into this. Okay. No, doesn't work. Even though we have 3 water, it's not triggering. Yeah, I think it's 6. I think it has to be 6. Hold on, let me write this down. 2 water and 3 grass does not activate Lapras. I think it'll also have to be 6 for Delmise, but we can run it again and test. And I'll just use grass energy this time. But it's useful to have other types of energy because the 3 and 3 thing, right? 3 water, 3 grass. That works because we spend the water on Mew's ability and then spend the grass on the extra. So I do not envy the person who had to code that in. The fact that they had to account for that is so... it's very trippy. Alright, I'm getting rid of all my water energy. We're just doing grass now. For science! Hey, Sparky, how are you? How are you doing, Sparky? Hope all is well. Just doing a little bit of Poke Science. Yeah, I really need something on the screen that just says kind of what we're doing. That people pop in and they can very easily see, oh, that's what you're up to. Yeah, we're trying to see exactly how MewEX works. But it's interesting, the card focus seems to always be Mew. It's always about Mew and not the other Pokemon. So like, Mew has to have 3 more energy, not the other Pokemon has to have 3 more energy. Okay. It's not working. Now, this is going to be interesting. Does it work with 4 grass? No. It doesn't work with 4 grass. Yeah, it has to be 6. You literally need 3 more energy than the attack. And Mew is used for the attack. Alright, checking with 5. No as expected. Yeah, no, I think we've got it. I think we've got it. It's 3 more than the attack. And I believe it has to be that type of energy. Because Mew with 1 Psychic, 4 Water, and 2 Leaf did not trigger Delmise, even though it was 6 energy. All right. Just writing down our conclusions. Must be 3 more of the correct energy, not consumed in Mew's own attack. The game will do its best to arrange energy to make it happen. All right. That was an interesting one. Lot of science there. Next up is Mew to discard energy stuff. No, bench stuff. Yeah. Next on the list is bench stuff. So whose bench matters for Pikachu? Whose bench matters for Arceus? So I will run a deck that has some electric Pokemon. And you run a deck with Pika EX and Arceus EX. How are you doing, Toshi? Are you enjoying the science? I thought you guessed 6, though. Yeah, no, it was pretty surprising. I didn't think the game would, like, auto-adjust that well. Alright, so I've got, like, 5 random electric basics, 2 Mews, and just kind of the same shuffle stuff. Is there anything else I need for this? I think that's good. Would Mew have different behavior than Mewtwo? I don't think Ditto would have different behavior than Mew. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right, so I don't have Mew EX yet. I'm just going to try to get one as quick as possible for the sake of as quick as possible. Now, we're trying to see if using Pikachu's attack, which does more damage depending on how many Pokemon you have on your bench, is better is going to use my bench or their bench. Like whose bench is it? And so from what we've been seeing so far, it seems like Mew considers itself to be the attacking Pokemon and not the Pokemon it's copying. So I would expect it to use my bench, but we'll prove it and see if that's what's happening. Yeah, I've got Double Oak. I mean, we could wait a turn for me to play them, but just odds are I'll get Mew eventually, or a Pokeball or something. Voltorb, Electabuzz, another Professor's Research, and Pokecom. All right, so all Oak and Pokecom. No, 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 no. This is I can. I've got more than 3 cards effectively just from this. First Oak, then Pokeball, then Com. All my all my PvP experience teaching me the optimal order to do this to maximize the chances. Okay, now this literally has to be Mew. It is impossible for this not to be Mew. Mew. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll retreat into Mew, and we're good to go. Now, do we just intern really fast until I get 3 energy on this? Let's go. We're doing this science. Yeah. Okay, so in theory, this attack should do 0 damage if I'm using your bench, and 30 damage if we're using my bench. And actually, just to make it extra fun, okay? All right. Genetic hacking. Okay, it's using my bench. Now let's try Arceus. Here we go. It's again using my bench. Okay, so Mew EX is not a Pikachu counter. That's true. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you could run it in an electric deck. That could work. That is true. Okay. All right. So, uses the copier's bench. All right, next up on the list. Energy discards. This is the fun one. What happens when it does have the energy, when it doesn't have the energy, and when it has like half of the energy. So this test will require both of us to run Mew EX with dual energy decks. Do you want to be Charizard, Magnezone, or Palkia? All right. Toshi wants Palkia. I'll build the Charizard version. Okay, so I'm going to remove all the electric cards and add in the Charizard line instead. Gonna have Charmander. Char. And then Char, we'll go with the EX one because that looks fun. Basics are more likely to be drawn through Pokeballs, so I'll grab more of the evolution cards. That looks good. And Crossfire Psychic. And make sure to run dual energy so that we can test, like, partial discards. You don't have Palkia EX? Not even, like, the immersive one, or... Okay, alright, I'll run Palkia. Do you have Charizard? Okay. Ah, I'm sorry about that. I know you were hyped to run the Palkia. Ah, that's rough. I'd trade you one if I had an extra, but I only have two. The heck else do I add to this deck? Yeah, Palkia's a little easier because it's just basics. I guess some Chatot? Some red cards? Red cards. We'll get some red cards. Yeah, red card and a Mars. There we go. Oh, I could run Misty, actually. Yeah, wait. Misty could be helpful. Well, probably not, but it'll be funny. Okay. So what happens when it doesn't have the energy, when it does have the energy, and when it has some of the energy? Does Mew discard anything? Nothing? Does it discard the wrong energy? You get to pick what it discards? These are the questions we must ask ourselves. The wrong energy? Wait, but aren't you running Charizard? uh... Alright, Toshi put water energy by mistake. We're just gonna do a quick reset. Yeah, so I'm running Palkia Mew, and Toshi's running... Oh, you do have Mew EX, right? Okay. Yeah, and Toshi's... Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, dual is good. Dual is good, because we want to test the partial. So we'll see if Mew EX imitating Palkia will discard different energy or the same energy or how that works. And anybody who wants to see the full summary of the test, that video should go out on Monday. But I figure, you know, we'll do the testing live because it's fun. All right, here we go. Okay, good start. Seems like we got most of what we need. Oak Star. Ugh, you must be hacking. Seriously, does anyone ever feel that way? Like when your opponent starts with Oak and you're like, ah, how could they start with Oak? That's impossible. They must be cheating somehow. I never start with Oak except when I do. It's another Mew, so this has to be the Palkia. Alright, I got my Palkia pretty quick, so if you don't have Charizard yet, we can start with you copying my Palkia. And then we'll see what happens. Wait a minute. Why is YouTube not showing... Oh, because it's not... Yeah, sorry, never mind. The YouTube Stream Manager was just acting funky. Pay no mind, all is well. Okay. Alright, so you're putting energy on Mew. I'll probably put energy on my Mew. It's actually funny, the actual cards don't need energy because they're not going to attack. Only the Mews need energy. This is such a weird test. So you're using the correct energy? Wait, you only have water. Hold on, Toshi, are you running dual energy? Up. I can't hear you. Uh-oh. We've lost communication. Testing, testing. We seem to be having trouble with the Discord at the moment. Please stand by. Your call is very important to us. Nope, we lost him. I think Toshi's phone might have died. No, wait, that doesn't make sense. Then how are they playing? Maybe the Discord just disconnected? I don't know. Alright, thankfully I know what they're doing. So, what Toshi's doing is they're trying to, I have to retreat because they didn't get the right energy on Mew. So that's fine. Okay. Okay, so I have the wrong energy. What happens when I genetic hack Charizard? Do I discard to psychic energy? What goes down? I don't discard any energy, apparently. Okay, so if you have all of the wrong energy, nothing is discarded. And okay, yeah, Toshi's PC died. Their phone is online. They're trying to get it back. That's what's going on. All right, I'm gonna switch to Palkia, and then we're gonna see what happens when you have some of the right energy. Yeah, the problem is that it's just water. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, okay. Yeah, no. So it deleted all of the water energy that it could, but not all of the energy. All right, that's cool. So it'll try to delete the energy, and it'll delete as much as it can, but it can't delete what you don't have. That's how that works. Okay, so energy deleting moves will try to delete the correct amount of the correct type of energy, but they won't delete energy you don't have. That's how that works. Palkia copied, deleted 2 water energy, not 3, because Mew's third was fire. All right. The next test we're looking at is, let me see, Revenge. When Mew copies Marshadow, whose Pokemon needs to have been defeated for Revenge to activate? Okay, so I guess we both run 2 Mew EX and 2 Marshadow. It's probably the way to go. And then we can use the Mews to KO the Marshadows. And see how that works. And I don't know, maybe like a Hitmonchan or something. Be relatively realistic. Or Hitmonlee. We could do Hitmonlee in case we need like bench snipe stuff, maybe. And fossils, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. All right, so now the point of this test is to try to figure out what exactly will happen. Is Toshi supposed to be audible or just you? Toshi didn't feel like being heard on stream today. We're That's it. um, yeah, no, like in the future, maybe. I don't know. Up to them, really. Yo, welcome back. Yeah, no, it went good. It went good. I think we're on to the next test, Revenge. So just Mew EX, Mew EX, and Marshadow, Marshadow. Yeah, well, we can both run the Mew EX because I think it'll be pretty clear what's happening no matter who's running it. So, like the what? Oh, um, maybe just the copy stuff for now. What other stuff are you thinking? Um, I kind of already know those don't work. We can try it and like in a future testing session just to prove it, but I so Marshadow's thing, yeah. Hey Alana, how are you? I gotta get quicker on the jump when people say hi. I feel like they say hi and then I don't say anything and then they leave. I need something that like combines all the stream chats into one location so that I can see them. Because I feel like that's kind of the main thing making it difficult for me to respond to people on time. Thanks for checking on the audio, Sparky. Yeah, Marshadow's attack specifically says that it has to have been KO'd by an attack. So I think it does. Are you alright? I heard like a ba-doo. Yeah, kind of. Hey, Sparky, have you tried Warside? I saw a couple people were talking about that in the Wargroove Discord. I don't know. It looked just kind of like Advanced Wars clone to me. I haven't really tried it. I was kind of on Team Athena Crisis for as far as the new Advanced Wars clone was going on. Dinosaurs and dragons, yeah. Not at all biased because there's a move in the game that might have been named after me. Not at all biased at all. Played the demo, haven't heard good things, so I haven't tried the full release. Yeah, no, I heard people have been saying that the game was a little funny. Like, it was missing features, there were a lot of bugs. I don't know. I don't know. I'll wait and see. I've kind of had my fill of that genre for a while, but if it becomes really big, maybe I'll check it out. I am enjoying. Yeah, possibly. I've got like just some Hitmonlees randomly in there so that we could KO a backline Pokemon if needed. Pokemon are cute. I want to play some Pokemon for a while. Yeah. Sir. It's actually kind of funny. I think that random short I did with just my plushies got more views than some of my bigger. I spent a lot of effort on these videos. I don't know how to feel about that. Oh, Toshi, let me know when you're ready. All right. This is because the search box, it makes you like type in everything by name, and then you hit the wrong thing on your phone, and then you gotta backspace it and type it in again. The power of cute. You didn't know about the search box? Oh, wait, legit, you've been scrolling through the full list of your cards? Oh. All right. After this game, we're showing Toshi where the search box is. That explains so much because I was like, oh wow, you're really thinking about this deck. Oh my good. We're showing you the search box after this. Your world is about to expand. Oh my goodness. I'm having like flashbacks to when I was younger and playing like my first Zelda game, and I didn't know how to get out of the starting area. So I spent like 3 months just beating up the basic mob in the starting area over and over until I maxed out my currency. And then the game glitched, and I accidentally got the secret thing from a secret level that you weren't supposed to be able to access until much later. I don't know, but I broke the game by doing that. I should see if that's repeatable. I should get like an old copy of the game, do that, and see if I can do it again somehow. Because that was funny. I still don't know how it happened. Fair. That's actually pretty helpful. Oh yeah, I got another Marshadow. Let's go. I tend to scroll a lot as well, but I know the search box exists. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't like using it because I hate, like, just typing in the name, but it's really handy. All right, toss that down. So we're we're trying to see whose Pokemon has to be KO'd for revenge to work. So is it my Pokemon or your Pokemon? So I guess to start with, you KO one of my Marshadows, and then we'll see if I can use revenge because my Pokemon was defeated, even though I'm copying you and your Pokemon wasn't. But don't KO it yet because I need to put more energy on Mew first. Yeah, like I need to get one of those things that like combines all of the chats in different streams, and then I could put it like, I don't know, somewhere over here, like maybe next to the game, and then I'll never not see the chat, and then when people say hi, I can say hi back, and they don't feel ignored and leave immediately, and then I'm sad. And I want to say hi. This is a very hello friendly stream. Okay, so one of my Pokemon was just defeated. Does this work? Yes. So revenge is based on the copier's Pokemon being defeated. Which makes sense. I mean, that meshes with everything we've seen so far. It is Mew-centric. You're not copying the effects. You're usually just copying the attack. All right. So one more test complete. Muse, ally, dying, triggers, revenge. Okay. Next test we're gonna look at is build-up moves. Does it even work? And does it copy the build-up? So Cyclizar and Togekiss. Do you have Cyclizar and Togekiss? Perfect. All right, run a deck with both, and we can also test the Cynthia thing, because I'll run Cynthia. Yeah. Cynthia. It is unfortunate. It's a really cool card, but stage 2s just aren't that good. Not unless... Oh, wait. Toshi, hold on, hold on, hold on. Are you watching the stream? Can you see... All right, look, look, look. This is the search box, okay? I got all my Pokemon here, right? I click this little magnifying glass. You can sort. You can type in a name like Pika. You just type in part of a name, right? Have we shattered the world? Yup. Yup. Now you know. Now you know. All right, so we're just showing Toshi that the search box exists. They had been scrolling this entire time whenever they needed to look for Pokemon. Oh my goodness. All right, so this next test, we're gonna see moves like Togekiss and Cyclizar's attacks do more damage the more you use them. And there are actually a few questions about this. Like, do they keep doing more and more damage? They don't, but we're gonna test it. And then if I copy it, do I get the damage buff if I copy it when you have the damage buff? If I use genetic hacking twice, does that count as me having used the move? Oh, Toshi, you also need to run a Hitmonchan. Because we need to see what happens if I increase my damage for the next turn and use a different attack. Think about it. Think about it. That's true, but it's also a build-up move. We could try it with both. We could try it with both, but I want to. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We could do it with a Togepi. Yeah, but I want to try both because they're both switch-up moves. I want to see if Mew can obtain the because it's a buff, right? It's a buff, and I wonder how they coded it. Because if they just coded it as a I attacked already, if that's the entire buff, if they didn't make it attack specific, then theoretically, this is fun. If you copy Cyclizar and get the buff, it will then work on Togekiss as if you had attacked as Togekiss. We have to try this. This is the coolest one. If this works, this is literally the coolest test. That's what I'm saying. It's entirely possible. There are three possibilities. Possibility one, Mew can't get the buff. Possibility two, Mew can get the buff, but it's attack specific. Possibility three, Mew can get the buff, but it's not attack specific and it transfers to Togekiss. We've got to try all the different possibilities. All right, Cyclizar start is perfect. Okay, so don't attack initially. Just we'll build up. We should, but I want to do that as part of the other thing because I don't know if you have potions. So like let's get Togepi on the bench, Togekiss on the bench, and enough energy. And then do you need me to Iona? Okay. All right, then we can probably start the test. This is going to be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. Oh, and I got Cynthia. Perfect. Okay. So we can also test Cynthia. This is going to be an epic... We've got a lot to test. Yes. I think we're ready. You get the buff. Now, I don't think it copies buffs, but we're going to see. Okay. Genetic hacking. Okay. It's not copying your buff, but it is giving me the buff. Stay a Cyclizar. Yeah, I think correct me if I'm wrong, we stay a Cyclizar, see how much it does to Cyclizar. Okay. Despite having the buff, it's only doing 20. This might be a bug. This might actually be a bug. I don't know if this is intended behavior or not. But I have the buff. And it's not working. It only says 20. Because the attack I used was genetic hacking, not over acceleration. I copied over acceleration. So the buff that increases over acceleration doesn't work. All right, let's try Togekiss now. I don't even know if that's on purpose. That might be a bug. Okay. So, yeah. All right, I'm using Cynthia. It did not do increased damage. Do I get the buff? Yes, I do. Let's see if this one works. Okay. It does not. It clearly says Overdrive Smash does plus 60 damage, but copying Overdrive Smash does not do plus 60 damage. Yes, following this logic, Torterra should be able to attack twice in a row. I think. Oh, this is crazy. Hold on, I gotta write like a lot down for this one. Okay, Mew does get the buff. All right, hold on. Mew does not copy the buff. Does get the buff. The buff doesn't work and is attack specific. That is so wild. Yeah, that's not gonna do anything. All right, cool. That was a good test. No, that we might have actually found a bug in the game. Imagine if all of my views come from like the QA team for Pokemon Pocket. Oh my goodness. Yo, that's really funny. All right, next up Torterra. That's a good idea. Yeah. And I'm going to cross a lot of stuff off the list. How do I... Nah, I think that's fine. Wait. Hold on. After Leafeon, something happened to the list. The new stuff I added isn't there. Heatran and all the Link stuff isn't there. No, what happened to the list? The list reset. Do you remember everything we said we were gonna add? Yeah. All right. Dang it, after all that, I guess we could go back and watch the... That's funny. All right. All right. All right. Well, for now, we'll just finish with the list and then we'll see. Oh, my bad. I must have hit the wrong button or something. I don't think it saved all my changes. The move says genome hacking on screen. Yeah, it does, but then it says the original move, so I don't know. All right, so we're gonna test with Torterra and Leafeon to see. Does Torterra need Cape for this? I guess not, because we'll be able to see it act on a second Pokemon. I don't think it one-shots itself. Hmm. Yeah, that's true. Science. Yeah, all of this is going to be amazing fodder for that quiz stream we're going to do. Because I don't think most people know what happens when Mew copies Cyclizar. That's just so wild. Right. Rapid end turn. Perfect. Getting all the draws. All right. You've got the Torterra? I will not Iono. Perfect. Look at that beefy plant. Okay. So I genetic hack Frenzy Plant. Now I can't use Frenzy Plant. In theory. But we'll see if this works the same way. Okay. I've got a red card I can use. There we go. All right, let's see how this works. All right, so I'm gonna use genetic hacking, Frenzy Plant. It does work. It's the same behavior. I get the buff, but technically the move I'm using is not Frenzy Plant. It's genetic hacking. I'm copying Frenzy Plant. Okay, so yeah, the behavior is consistent. You copy the buff, but it doesn't affect you. Logically, it makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Now for Leafeon, it says during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. I assume since it's this Pokemon can't attack and not you can't use this move, I will be unable to attack. Presumably. But we'll find out. Okay. I can't attack. Alright, that makes sense. I think we've got a solid grasp on how the buff stuff works. You can copy Torterra twice because it specifies the move. It will get the buff, but it doesn't matter. Mew will get the buff, and it does stop attacks from Leafeon because the text says this Pokemon can't attack. So Mew can't use any attack. Okay. Next on the list. Ooh, this is one you added. The gold. Well, you also added the Terra one, but the Goldango one. The Goldango one is interesting. Does it work with no steel energy? I'm really excited for this one because we might flip 0 coins. So this is to see what happens when Mew tries to copy Goldango. We'll do without steel energy and maybe with like 1 steel energy, but without first. So I'll go triple energy to decrease the odds of steel, but then I'll get it eventually. And then we can try with no steel energy and with 1 steel energy. And maybe we'll flip 0 coins. It would be crazy if we could... Imagine if we could flip 0 coins. I hope the game doesn't just crash when we try this. Yeah, it might not let it happen. You're right. We'll find out. Um, yeah, sure. We could do the Weedle test too. Oh, but then I need to have a Weedle in my deck. Hold on. Let me edit my deck. Get rid of Cynthia and add Weedle. Dual energy. No, I want triple energy. Okay. All right, ready to go. This is one of the ones I'm very excited about. This is where we find the edge cases of the game, the things no one wants you to know. What happens when you flip 0 coins? I want to see, like, it probably just won't let me do it, right? Or it'll do it and nothing I don't know. Ooh, nice Weedle. It's a shiny Weedle. That's so cool. I have to say, Goldingo is, well, Gimmighoul. Gimmighoul is one of my favorite Pokemon. I really like Gimmighoul. It's like Pokemon's answer to the Mimic, but it's kind of this cool coin Pokemon. Flip a coin for each metal energy attached. It's 50 damage for each sense. Yeah, the move is designed so you can't use it without a metal energy. Let's see if it lets me. It's letting me do it. What's gonna happen? Uh, it flips 0 coins and does 0 damage. That's kind of awesome. Yeah, it flipped all 0 coins. I can't believe they programmed that. All right, I do not have a Mew in my hand. We're going to... Does this pull a Weedle or a Mew? I'm pretty sure it pulls a Weedle. Yeah. I mean, that was an... All right, we'll try it again. There's only one. There's only one, so... Yeah. Okay. That was a good test. We flipped 0 coins. That was exciting. All right. We've completed the original list. All that's left is the stuff we added. There were a few weird Ditto cases, but yeah, like whose health does Regigigas use? Presumably it uses Mew's health. Let's test the Arceus stuff. Should I have an Arceus? I guess, right? Say again? I couldn't hear you. Yeah. All right, I'll add some Arceuses. Arcei? What's the plural of Arceus? I'll add a couple Arcei. Do you have the Carnivine and the Rotom? Those are a little rare. I only got 2 of the Rotom recently. I still only have 1 of the Carnivine. Got some Arcei. Disobeyed! Hey, how are you doing? The... Oh, you don't have the Rotom. Okay. The Rotom's fine, actually, because the Rotom... Yeah, Tyranitar instead. Tyranitar, because Rotom is Retreat, so that's not even attack, so that's fine. Do you have the Tyranitar? Also, we don't hear the talking person. Yeah, Toshi didn't want to be heard on stream right now. It's their first time kind of being on a stream. Um, it's up to them. Generally, I've just kind of been letting you know what they've been saying. I don't know. Yeah, no, thanks for calling it out. Thanks for calling it out. There are occasional bugs, like for example when the visuals froze and I had no idea. So appreciate the call out. Thanks, Disobeyed. The world's sneakiest Minecraft player. No Pupitar. Let me see if I have an extra one. Maybe I could trade it to you. On Pupitar. Do I even have Pupitar? Pupitar. Hold on. Toshi doesn't have Pupitar, and I might not either. Wait a minute. Or I can't spell. Okay, no, I got like 4 of them. I'll trade you one real quick. Are we friends? All right. Yeah, no, I'm constantly deleting. I'm constantly deleting friends. Let me add you real quick. Actually, I can hide this so that your number doesn't appear on the screen there. Let me see. Yoink. All right, just put the number somewhere in Discord. I'll add you real quick, and I'll trade you a Pupitar. All right, we're just doing some quick trading. Trying to get Toshi a Pupitar so we could do this test. There we go. Don't worry about it for right now. I'm probably missing something, but all right, let me check real quick. Do you have a GA Gloom? And only trade if you have 3 copies. If you don't have 3 copies, don't trade. 3 or more. Oh, the first pack, the Charizard one. You have 5? All right, perfect. Then I'll trade you a Pupitar for a GA Gloom. Yeah, never trade unless you have 3 copies of something. Yeah, that's fair. I sent you the friend request. Yeah, Toshi was saying they only trade full arts when they don't have 3 copies, so that's reasonable. We're just doing a quick trade so that what's the bandage for? Oh, the bandage is for me being dumb. That's what the bandage is for. Just checking. Your nose is okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Disobeyed. I'm good. Just clumsy. Just clumsy. All right. I will trade you one Pupitar. Where is the gosh darn thing? Yeah, we were saying that they had a Tyranitar but no Pupitar, so I'm trading them a Pupitar so that we can do this. And it's a good opportunity for me to get a GA Gloom, because you never know when you're gonna need an extra copy of this particular Gloom. Look at that. The 2 energy, 40 damage. This beautiful face. That's true. You never know when that's gonna happen. It's like yes, it will. Toshi was saying you never know in the next pack. It might evolve and have like a skill that heals everything for like 30 or something. Thank you. All right. Now we can do this. Yeah, we're testing all of the different edge cases for Mew, just trying to see all the different ways where Mew EX has some weird interaction with other cards. The full summary will be on YouTube later. I really need like a bot that will just like type that in chat every once in a while, so that like I don't keep explaining all the things that streamers do are starting to make sense to me. Where they have like these weird bots and they have the chat on the side. I'm like, oh, that's why you have that, so you can understand what people are saying. And yeah, I need to build that, I guess. What? No, disobeyed. You're not becoming labor for it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm really missing the thread there. GOS? Groove of what's the bot for? Oh, to automatically explain what the stream is. Because like I don't have the text anywhere, because if I'm putting my face here and who I am is there and the phone is over there, where do I put the explanation? Like you used to be in the top right corner over here, there'd be an explanation of what I'm doing, but now there's kind of no explanation because there's a big face here with a hat and plushies in the background, and like I feel like I gotta fix that somehow. So I don't know, maybe like I'll just rearrange this a little bit, like put the game over here, an explanation. It doesn't have to say my name at the bottom. Maybe I put the explanation down there. I don't know. Thanks, disobeyed. Also, you can pin comments. All right, cool. I will pin your message. All right, we're ready to go. So what we're testing right now is to try to see if Arceus tech, like Link Arceus tech, can get copied by Mew EX or not. So far, I think Mew EX has followed a few set of like general guidelines. Like Mew EX is the one using the attack. That's like one of the rules, right? It doesn't treat the other Pokemon as using the attack. It treats Mew as doing it. I literally have to play Arceus. I think we need to restart Toshi because it's forcing me to play Arceus. So I can't test putting. Yeah. Well, let's test the Heatran separately because it's just too many cards. And Heatran isn't really like Link. It's just kind of its attack that we're testing, not so much the Link ability. Like you can type something at the start of the stream and then pin it. Oh, that's cool. How do I do it on YouTube though? Will YouTube let me pin things? Let me see. I can. Okay. Thanks, Disobey, teaching me all the stream tech. I appreciate it. All right. All right, this is looking good so far. This is looking good. So, if this works, I should be able to copy Carnivine and Tyranitar's attack increase from the existence of Arceus. The question is, does the attack itself have a part of the Link ability? If it does, this will work. If it doesn't, this won't work at all. I have no idea. I have no idea. We'll find out. All right, I'll throw a Pokeball. Just try to get Arceus in my hand. Got it. And your Arceus is down, so we're ready to go. So as soon as Toshi evolves to Tyranitar, we're starting with Carnivine. All right, so we're going to try to see if this does in fact give me the boost for Carnivine or not. So, right, genetic hacking, it's only doing 20 damage, so we're not getting the Link ability, even though Carnivine's Link is active. Now, I will put my Arceus down on the field. Does it work? No. You know what? What if I had a Carnivine and its Link ability was active? Would that translate to Mew? We should test that. Let's do Tyranitar first. But I'm curious if that would change the experiment. Like, if I had a Carnivine that was linked, would it give my Mew the Link? Right? Toshi just said, I don't think you make sense anymore. I think it could, though. I think it could. Okay, Land Crush. I'm also not getting the bonus. But wait. Let's try this again. All right, Sparky doesn't think it'll work either. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. I think this will work. I think it'll work. I think it will. All right, wait, no. Because think about it. If the Link is an ability, does the ability apply to the individual Pokemon or to the attack? Because it modifies the attack. The ability is linked to the Mon and isn't copied? Maybe. I just want to see it. I just want to try. I feel like, if for no other reason than to ensure we've done a complete and proper and earnest test, we need to try. So this is just Carnivine. You don't have to have any Tyranitar cards. We're just going to test Carnivine, and I only have one, so save that. Battle. It says it applies to the Mon's attack in general. I know, but Link is weird. Here's my theory, okay? Here's why I think this could work. It's getting really difficult to code this game, as everything we've tested today shows. I bet the reason they did Triumphant Light with linked abilities was to make it easier to code. And if they did that, Link could be an effect that is generated for your side of the field, not for the individual Pokemon. It's possible. Because Arceus has to give Link to every Pokemon, right? You might be right, but I still think it's worth a test. It is possible that the way they coded it means that Arceus gave Link to Mew, and Carnivine existing creates that Link effect. And as a result, Mew has that Link effect. It could be coded that way. If I'm right, this is going to be so funny. Alright, I've got Arceus. I just need to draw Carnivine. Oh, don't Iona me. This could work. Because think about it. If Link is like a field effect, and it has a list of linked field effects based on which Pokemon exist, then Mew would gain the linked effect. Alright, Arceus. I'm going to Oak one more time. And if I don't get Carnivine, you can Iona me. Ooh, I got a Pokeball. That's good. Let's see what that is. Here we go. Arceus again. Iona at will. And then we'll check Heatran after this. Because Heatran isn't Link specific. I bet it'll just be if Mew has taken damage, but we can test Heatran and Regigigas together actually, because they're very similar in that they're damage related. No, but I have Pokeball, so I can try for it. Gonna throw a Pokeball. Still didn't get it. I'm gonna Pokecom Mew though. It's funny, I keep drawing every single basic except the one I want. Got it. Okay. I put it on the field. Its Link ability activates. You can see it's active. Oh, it's creating a buff on the Pokemon, though. Hold on, wait. What does it say exactly? If Arceus or Arceus EX are in play, attacks do plus 30 damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. Oh, okay, it's treated as a self-buff. Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It was worth a shot. I'm happy we tried it. Alright. That didn't work at all. Let's move on to Heatran and Regigigas. Okay, Link effects are not copied. They are a buff on the linked Pokemon and only apply to the linked Pokemon. Okay, they didn't code it. They coded the field effect triggers the linked ability, and the linked ability triggers a buff on the Pokemon. That's actually a really smart way to code it. Yeah, no, that is just smart programming. Alright, since we're doing Heatran and Regigigas, and I will need to take some damage for this one. I guess we could throw on Cape. Why not? Cape. Add some capes. And I just need like a random card. I'll add a Weedle. Okay. Is this the last test or the second to last test? Did we miss a test? And just a reminder for those of us who are just joining, we're testing all the weird interactions that exist with Mew EX. There are a few that don't work the way you think. And a full video summarizing everything will be on YouTube on Monday. So if you didn't see the whole stream or you don't have time to see the whole stream, we're going to just cut up all the cool parts and put it in a video. But it's fun to test it live, because then you get to see us messing around and things exploding. All right, I'm just checking my notes, because I accidentally deleted some of the stuff we figured out at the start of the stream. We got that. Just checking. Yeah, so Celebi Superior used to work differently, but they fixed it. It used to have a bug, but they fixed it. I think everyone knows how the Celebi one works. We could test it if you really want to, though, Toshi. Okadoke. Seriously, I don't mind. If you want to, just let me know. We'll do it. That's true. Maybe, yeah, maybe we'll stop it here then. After this test. We'll just do one last test. And hopefully we didn't miss anything. And I just like to thank Toshi, who is kind of like the secret demon in the background whispering in my ear, for helping me come up with some of these ideas. I think Toshi came up with about half the stuff we're testing today, and for helping me do it on stream. I really appreciate it. Everyone, give Toshi a big shout out in the comments. And if you would like to participate in all this testing nonsense, let me know on the Discord. Okay, so I'm not going to attack you. And we'll see who's... Because you'll be at full health. So if I'm copying your health, it shouldn't work. If I'm copying my health, it should work. So we'll see how this works. Okay. So I use genetic hacking, and it does 80. Okay, so it is Muse health for Heatran. And now we'll try with Regigigas. And see if it also uses Muse health with Regigigas. Here we go. Wow. Wait, 130? Hold on. That's wrong. Wait. Why did that do 130? But it shouldn't have. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. I was freaking out over nothing. Yep. I can't do math. I was like, but it should have done 120 now. Yep, you're right. Okay, cool. Okay, I think that's it. All right, well, this was a great test. We learned a lot. I think there were like a few Ditto Edge cases we wanted to do or something, but we could save those for a future testing session. I think there's always going to be more copy stuff we could try. We could maybe make a part 2 in a couple months when some new cards come out. But I think the next testing session will be just other stuff like weird tying edge cases and stuff. Thank you so much, Toshi. Is there anything you... All right, cool. I guess we'll end it here. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I'll do a quick game of Ranked to wrap things up, just to make it interesting. You guys can watch me lose in Ultra Ball 3 as I try slowly inching towards Masters. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna wrap up here. Thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and the full summary will be on YouTube. I'll catch you later. And now it's just me and YouTube.